You.
Me?
You stole my movie.
No.
I came out with The Boy in 2015. You took the idea and turned it into a stupid doll in a stupid wall.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
And I have this shit patented, so you owe me big time. I'm going to sue the fuck out of you. I am going to let everybody know that you are a thief, and The Boy is... What's going on, guys? Welcome back to 31 Days of Horror. I am Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. The Boy is a film from 2015, not to be mistaken with the 2016 The Boy, about the doll where this girl goes to babysit for some family and she thinks she's going to babysit a kid, but then they ask her to babysit a doll. This is a totally different story, completely unrelated, which came out a year before. And basically this is about this kid and father who, the father runs this motel. The motel is not doing very well at all. It's in the middle of butt-F nowhere, in the middle of the desert basically, and they're really struggling for money. This is a very, very slow burn. It's a slow movie, but it's a slow burn that pays off, absolutely, but you have to be into those type of slow burn films. I would compare this in its pacing to House of the Devil by Ty West. So if you're all over that kind of stuff, then you definitely will be having a good time with this one. Also, this is probably the least traditional horror that I've watched this month. This is very psychological. It's very much a character study, and it is very good, and it is horrifying in its own way, but it's a psychological horror. It's very disturbing. It's a deep dive into people's psyches, basically, and you learn about these people very slowly and the details start to come out. It's a mystery for most of the film, kind of thing. You have this guy named William, and he is played by Rainn Wilson, and he gets into an accident basically with his car in front of the motel one night, and then they bring him in to heal him. The father, played by David Morse, his name is John. He wants to call a mechanic to fix the car, and he gives the guy, you know, a free room for however many days he needs to stay. And things start to get a little bit odd and sketchy with how long the car is taking and stuff like that. And this kid is basically in the middle of it. He's just being raised by his father. He's very secluded. He doesn't have any friends really, because the only people he really interacts with are customers of the hotel, and they come and go. So, you know, there's this one moment where the father is explaining a few years back where the kid really formed this big bond with this girl that stayed with her parents at the hotel. And this little girl, once she went to leave, the kid got like infatuated with her and like snuck into the parents' car, and they didn't notice that the kid was in the car till like an hour later, and then they had to drive him back and stuff like that. It gets really emotional, really sad. The era that this film takes place in is quite nostalgic, and I'll just leave it at that. There's a few surprises because of it, and I'm not going to go into detail when it is, where it is, how it's nostalgic or anything like that. It really slowly evolves into this timepiece that adds to the emotion and the theme and the mood and the feel and the style of the film. So I really liked that. Unfortunately, I do think the advertising and the artwork and stuff like that does say a little bit too much. A lot of things that happen towards the end of the film probably shouldn't have been mentioned in the advertising, in my opinion. And a lot of films do that, understandably so and not so understandably so. I would have been much happier with it being a surprise, and it still was a surprise. It's just when it gets there, it's like, oh, well, you know, you kind of showed that already, so Why didn't you just not show it, kind of thing. Soundtrack is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. There's some needle drops in this film that I'm just in love with. And as soon as they drop those songs, I'm just like, love it. Absolutely love it. This film does take a while to pick up. But if you like slow burns and if you like atmospheric films, it's more so disturbing than it is like, you know, dealing with supernatural or monsters. It's a grounded film and you're dealing more with mental horror rather than physical, real life. Well, I think you know what I mean by what I'm describing it. It's very psychological. It's very mental kind of thing. The kid gives a great performance. This is based on apparently a chapter of a book, which is strange. I've never seen a film. Well, the Voyage of the Demeter that they put out recently, the Dracula film, was based on a chapter of Dracula, so I can't say I've never seen it, but it's very rare that you see a film based on only one chapter of the book. The book is called Miss Corpus, and it was written in 2003. I forget the author's name, but that's what the film is based on. Performances are great all around. David Morse plays the father. Rainn Wilson, like I said, plays the guy named William. The director of this is Craig William Macneill, and this is a Scream Factory release. Towards the end of the film, again, I'm not going to go too much in detail with this, but in the third act of the film, there are some prom kids that come visit the hotel and stay at the hotel. So I'll leave it at that. A lot of shit happens when when they come down. Like, it's basically the climax of the film, and a lot of things play out when they arrive, essentially. Because you have all these prom kids, they're all partying, and then you have the kid, and you have, you know, the father dealing with shit. That's when kind of like, you could say, all the fuses start to go off, kind of thing, and the inevitable of what was leading up to a situation finally kind of unveils itself, and what was destined to happen happens, kind of thing. I don't really know off the top of my head anything to compare it to give like an example, but it's kind of like one of those situations where what's the saying, anything bad that can happen will happen, sort of thing. I guess that's a big theme of the movie that I found and that I took away from it. It's a really well-made film that's extremely underrated, and I think the biggest reason it's underrated is because it came out just a year before the more popular Boy, which audience took to a lot more because it's more traditional horror. It's, I'm pretty sure, PG-13. Just the advertising and marketing for it was much better, but and much bigger. But this is definitely a cool film not to be missed if you like the style of these kinds of things. I mean, it's worth checking out if you like slow burns. This is one very atmospheric slow burn that is not to be missed, in my opinion. So that's The Boy for day 29. I had a good time with it, and it got a 4 out of 5 from me. It's not something that I'll rewatch all the time, but it is certainly something that I'll want to visit often, and there's definitely themes in the film that you can notice for the first time, and there will always be new things to take out of the film and appreciate more with every viewing, kind of thing. Yeah, that's day 29, The Boy from 2015. Thank you for joining me once again for spooky season. This is not, like I said, a traditional horror film in the sense of what I've been doing, but it definitely counts as horror, no doubt about it. We're almost at the end, and spooky season is, well, official spooky season, the 31st, is almost here, but definitely a couple films to go. So stay tuned. Join me again next time. Let me know if you've seen The Boy. If not, let me know if you're interested. And until next spooky review, sleep tight tonight.